Alright, what is going on, guys? It is Benny, and today we are going to be playing some top ladder with Mortar bait, which honestly, guys, I think we can probably call the greatest Mortar deck of all time at this point, because it is just such a good deck, especially this season, and it's one of those decks that's good every single season, it seems. So I am definitely loving it. That was a pretty good Little Prince ability right there. I'm pretty happy with that. Now, I also wanted to say, because we're in top ladder, you know, I figured I would try to get some good replays for you guys. I've had a lot of people asking me for Hog Earthquake, so I am going to have one of those replays in this video. Because you know what, I love you guys and your wish is my command. Now we will get one mortar shot off, but one thing that's important to notice in this matchup, guys, is this guy has poison, and so that means that we have to play 2 lanes, which sucks because, you know, Drill is one of those, you know, decks that just things have to be chipped down and everything. But I can't give him a lot of value with his Drill poisons in this matchup, or else I will lose it. So that is just one thing that we do have to kind of keep in mind and we have to be careful about. Let's go for a mortar onto this side, just because he did a drill on the left side, and we have, or on the right side, sorry, and we do have a lot of damage so far on the tower on that left side, so that's good. Now we're going to take out that demolisher with our little prince, so I'm happy with that. Okay, and then I guess I'll cycle some spear goblins right here. Let's pop the LP ability just to kind of be annoying. You know what? Like, it's a little bit ambitious, but I feel like maybe we could get away with it. So we'll do that, and then okay, I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do here. Let's go for the knight, and then ooh, okay, this is not good. Let's go ahead, let's log, and then he did go for the Evo Snowball. No big deal there. We are going to also hopefully take out that demolisher before it gets to the tower. Oh my gosh, that is so depressing that it got there. But we're gonna go for the Evo Mortar right here just because he went in, and we do have a knight there to help out. He's going to go for the Tesla. That was a massive mistake, because now we can go for the Evo Skeleton Barrel on this side. And then we can kind of stack up on this left side, I think, here. So we are going to get the barrel onto the tower, and then we do have really good pressure there on the left side. We're going to get a mortar lock. Let's go ahead and let's get the goblin gang into the opposite lane here. Let's get a little prince down to keep this Evo mortar firing and hopefully maybe get it on the tower again. Doesn't look like we will, but we did get great damage on that right side there. And we have that nice little counter push there going on that left side, so that's good. He's going to give us some good damage there. And then let's go for a defensive mortar here, actually, just to make sure that that demolisher doesn't get on our tower or anything. And then I'll cycle the goblin gang right here just to get that Tesla down. We're going to kind of try to get skeleton barrels on the tower, I think, here. And then we'll get the knight there for that drill. Because he's going to snowball, let's go ahead and just log here. I'm not going to give him any damage. We do get 1 skeleton hit. That is massive. Let's go for the goblin gang here. He's probably going to log, so let's get some spear goblins down on this side. And then because he used the Tesla, we can go for the evil skeleton barrel on this side here. And then let's let that demolisher get on the mortar, and then let's go ahead and do this. And then let's get a little prince down right here. We're going to wait a second, and then we're going to log now. So we'll do that, and we still have the mortar lock. If we can get one more shot with that mortar, that would be huge. We do get the shot, so that's good. Let's get a skeleton barrel going on this side. We do have our 3-card cycle as well, so that's actually huge. I'm going to get the knight in front of the little prince to keep it alive. And then I guess I'm going to fireball here, because we should be able to get to a second fireball in a second. The knight is coming in. Let's go ahead and let's just wait a second, and then now I'm going to log right here, and then let's get the knight down, and then we can just fireball on this tower, and that's going to be a win. So let's give him a good game, let's give him a good luck, and let's go on into the next. Alright guys, we're on to our next matchup, and this guy has Cannoneer, so that's a little bit interesting. So he's either going to be playing Mortar, or he's going to be using one of the bait decks that is very popular right now. And I'm thinking it's a bait deck here, so I'm just going to play my goblin gang. I'm going to hold on to my log. He kind of messed that log up, to be honest, so that is good. I'll go for the skeleton barrel here just to get that pressure going, and then I'll play my mortar on this side, actually, especially because he kind of had to commit to defending on that side. And then I can just get my little prince right here to defend against that skeleton king, and I think we should be okay for the most part. I'll play the knight right here. We might as well keep everything alive, and then I'm just going to log here. And then depending on what he does, I think maybe I'll just chill, actually. I don't think I'll go super aggressive quite yet. Let's wait and see what he does here. And then, okay, because he's going to do that, I'm just going to goblin gang right here, take all of that out, no big deal. And then I can just spear goblins here on the suspicious bush, which is such an annoying card, to be honest. I actually find it really, really annoying. He has some good damage there on the right side, so I'm going to have to figure out a way to kind of keep this pressure up on this guy. I'll go for the mortar, but I'm not going to do anything too significant yet. He'll probably skeleton king pretty soon here, because he doesn't have the dart goblin to take out the mortar yet. and then I can just little prince right here, and then let's wait and see if he does anything with this. I can play the knight right here to take all of this out, and that will also kind of distract the skeleton barrel to make sure that we don't take too much damage. And then the log there will go in, and then I guess, I mean, I'll cycle a goblin gang here. Ooh, that sucks. That is so depressing. Okay, how are we going to do this? I feel like we're getting out-cycled here, and I feel like our elixir situation is just not as good as his, which makes sense, but we need to figure out a way to get through here. Let's go ahead, let's cycle a skeleton barrel here on this side. We might as well. And then he's going to go ahead and play the skeleton barrel, so I'm just going to do this. And then, ooh, okay, hold up. He maybe messed up here because he played that a little bit too early. I don't think we're on the tower. No, we're not, but that's okay. Let's just get a goblin gang here, make sure that we don't take too much damage from that dark goblin, and then I'll get the knight right here. Oh my gosh, we got the mortar lock, but we somehow we didn't protect the mortar there. That's a little bit crazy, but we do have a pretty decent push here. Let's go ahead, let's log right here in the middle just to get rid of those spear goblins, and then he is going to dark goblin. I'm going to fireball on that dark goblin. We might as well. And then let's cycle some spear goblins right here. Let's go ahead and let's keep this mortar alive to keep that pressure up on this guy. It'd be nice if the mortar took out those spear goblins there, but I don't think we'll have that luck. But we do have good damage, so we're doing something here. Let's start the little prince in the back. I think our 3-card cycle is going to be really important here. And then I'm going to fireball right here actually. And then let's go ahead and let's log. Let's get the spear goblins right here to make sure that that stuff doesn't get on the tower, and then I can just play my knight right here. I think that fireball that I played earlier was maybe a little bit of a mistake. Let's go ahead, let's actually defensive mortar here, because I'm not liking this situation that we're in. I'm really hoping this defensive mortar takes out that dark goblin. Let's go ahead and let's just fireball there, and then let's log on all of this. That's going to be great value on that log. And then, ooh, okay, hold up. Let's get the little prince right here, because we are going to need that. And we're going to take a bit of damage here, but hopefully not too much. Oh my gosh, that was way too much damage to take in this. And then let's go ahead, let's get the mortar down, because the guardian should tank some of that suspicious bush. And then let's go ahead and get a skeleton barrel down here. Let's wait and see if he plays a dark goblin. There's the dark goblin, so let's go ahead and let's get the fireball right there onto that. And then the little prince will take out the skeleton king, so that's good. It's really going to come down to us making sure that we do not take any chip damage whatsoever. Let's go ahead and do this here. Let's pull that skeleton barrel into the middle here, and then let's maybe get another fireball down onto that dark goblin here. Let's get the knight down, keep those spear goblins alive, because we have really good support for it. And then let's go ahead, let's pull the skeleton barrel to the side here, and then okay, let's do this here. Let's make sure that we take all of that out. And then let's get the knight down right here. Let's go ahead and let's log on all of this. And then, ooh, I'm so scared. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's get the goblin gang on this. Let's go ahead and let's do the mortar right here. We're going to get some good value on our log here in a second, so that's pretty good. Let's go ahead. Let's get a fireball onto the tower. Let's go ahead. Let's get the knight right here. And then, ooh, we can't let that get on the tower. Hold up. Let's go ahead. Let's get this right here. Let's go ahead and let's log on all of this. And then let's get the knight down right here. And then let's just get another fireball. Holy crap, that was a close and stressful matchup. We'll give him a good game. We'll give him a good luck, and let's go on into the next one. All right, you guys, for the next matchup, we have the Hog Earthquake replay. And I wanted to show you guys this just because I feel like this is something that everybody has been asking about. Obviously, this is a little bit different because he's using Valkyrie, but still the same principle applies whenever we're playing against Hog Earthquake. So right off the bat, I'm going to fireball the Firecracker, and that's because honestly Firecracker is so annoying, and it's really, really important not to let the Firecracker get a lot of value. As soon as you wait to counter it and it starts to get more value, that's kind of when you start to really struggle and you get put in a bad situation. Then he goes for the Hog Rider here. I don't really know why he went opposite lane, so I'm just going to play my Mortar, and I'll play the Goblin Gang as well. Obviously, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, it's not like it's an amazing elixir trade, but at the same time, he has to counter the Mortar. We defend the Hog Rider, we make sure that we don't take any damage, and that's what the most important thing is making sure that we realize that this comes down to chip damage, because almost every single matchup that you play against Hog Rider when you're using Mortar is going to be pretty close. So we get some really good chip damage right there. I'm feeling pretty good about things, but I also know I need to get a King Tower activation, so that's going to be really important. So I go for the King Tower activation, then I just log plus my Goblin Gang to counter the Hog Rider on that side, and that is all good. But I do have to keep in mind now that this guy will probably go for log predictions, so it's really important that I'm playing careful. But I go for my Spear Goblins up high, take out that Valkyrie, don't give him any chance of having a counter push or anything. And then as soon as I see him use that log, I go for my skeleton barrel again. But the key to this matchup is going to be making sure that I'm doing split lane pressure if I have to. So, you know, you're going to kind of see that I'm not trying to give this guy a lot of value, especially with his earthquake. Now, we have great damage on that right side, so obviously I'm going to keep pushing that. My best thing to do here is to cycle my knight, because if I cycle my little prince, I lose a really good hog counter, especially because we keep using our goblin gang. So you'll see here, I pull with the mortar, and then I use the little prince to counter, which is definitely going to be the greatest thing that we can do there, to make sure that he doesn't get really good log value. And then that firecracker there is getting a ton of value, and that's exactly what I mean, is like when you leave the firecracker alive too long, that's when you start to lose. That honestly is like 90% of the time when I watch my friends play against Hog, it's because of the firecrackers, and they don't realize that. They think it's because of the Hog Rider, but it's really the firecrackers. I go for an offensive mortar here because I just want to put some pressure on this guy, especially with my Evo Skeleton Barrel. And then honestly, like, I'll take some Hog Rider damage here, but I'm okay with that because of the counter push that I had, and we are going to get a shot off on the tower, and I will take that any day of the week. So we get a ton of damage there. I'm getting that skeleton barrel down again because I want to cycle to my Evo skeleton barrel as much as possible, especially because he's been having troubles countering them. He keeps playing the firecracker, and that's not a good exchange for him. And then I got to make sure that that skeleton damage doesn't get on my tower. We pull the Hog Rider again with the mortar, and then I play the Spear Goblins to the right so that he doesn't get earthquake value. He has to log, and then I can just log right here, and then the King Tower plus the Cannoneer just slams the Hog Rider. And right now we have really good damage, and I'm just relying on that Skeleton Barrel every single chance I get, fireballing the Firecracker down again, and I'm making sure that I'm not going necessarily too aggressive. I need to make sure that I can defend the Hog Rider, but I am playing a little bit more safe. And you'll see there, I go for the Little Prince, not the Spear Goblins or anything, just the Little Prince, so that if he goes for the log, he can't counter it. And then, I'm kind of just chilling here, taking it easy. I'm not really sure what to do, so we go for some Spear Goblins to kind of pressure him, force him to play something else, and then we go for the Evo Skeleton Barrel, and that'll force him to over defend. He goes for the defensive Firecracker, so I can just get rid of the Evo Firecracker. Now he can't use it on offense with his Hog Rider, which is great. And then I go for the Evo Mortar in the opposite lane. The reason why I'm doing that is because even if he goes for the Earthquake, I'm okay with that because I can get damage on the tower, especially because he messed up that Hog Rider and he played in the middle, so it jumped, and then that gave us the Mortar lock. So now we have really good damage, but I do have a bit of a dilemma here where I know he's going to be gunning for my tower, and I can't Fireball cycle this guy. Just because if I do, then I know he might be able to get a Hog Rider and kind of out-cycle me down, and so I have to be careful with how I Fireball cycle. I fireballed that Firecracker there. That was a terrible play. I should not have fireballed that. But so, this guy being in triple elixir as well, it definitely does help him more than it helps me. So I'm in a bit of a difficult position here. So I'm just going to slowly keep trying to chip down that right side tower without over committing to it or anything. And I'm fireballing those Firecrackers because they are annoying and they're dangerous. He goes for the Hog Rider. I have the Little Prince right there. I'm going to pop the LP ability as well just to give some extra support. And then I'm going to keep logging on his tower instead of fireball because I can recover from that, and I can keep my fireball to counter his Firecrackers. Whereas if I were to use like my fireball on the tower, he might catch me off guard, and that would be really shitty. So I go for the mortar right here, and then I'm going to get my knight down right there, and then I can just log again to make sure the Hog Rider doesn't get on the tower. Even though it might have been an over defense, it worked out really well. Then I'm going to fireball right there. Now I'm a little bit scared because I realize that Hog Rider is getting through, but we do get the damage onto the tower, and we are going to get the win. It's a close matchup. It's a difficult matchup, but it's really important that you're just playing two lanes and that you're defending those Hog Riders smart. Alright guys, we are on to our last matchup here, and so hopefully we get a win on this. I'm so mad because I was recording the last matchup, and then I got a phone call in the middle of it, and I was absolutely destroying this kid. So I'm a little bit depressed with how that went out, and so I ended up taking a loss because the phone call just completely threw me off. So we have a little bit of a recovery to do here, but we're going to defend this push pretty easily. This guy has Boss Bandit. Oh my gosh, that is disgusting. I hate that card so much. I haven't seen it that much this season, which has been amazing, but now of course I'm seeing it right here, and it's bringing back bad memories, man. Let's go for the Mortar. It's the opposite lane because he's going to start the Executioner in the back, so like screw that, and then I can just get the Knight right here. That was really aggressive. What is he doing? That is interesting. I'm going to be honest with you guys. That is a little bit interesting that he's going to go so aggressive there. Let's go ahead, let's do this first, and then let's just get the Spear Goblins right here onto that Berserker to make sure that she doesn't get onto the tower, and then we will defend pretty well. But we are down in elixir, so we have to be careful because this guy getting the Boss Bandit down, like, he can just do anything with it. He could counter everything we throw at it, so we do have to be a little bit careful. This guy's deck is kind of scary. That boss bandit is my worst nightmare, and it's my greatest enemy, guys, because it just always gets through. He's gonna go for a ram rider. Let's just go ahead and get a defensive mortar down here, and then I don't actually think we really have to play anything else. I think the cannoneer should take all of that out, and I played the mortar a little bit higher on the defensively, just because sometimes when I play it lower, they get a little bit lucky and the ram rider gets pushed off to the side, and I just didn't want to risk that. So I'll play the knight here for the royal ghost, and then let's just kind of chill for a second, I guess. I'll split the goblin gang in the back. He's going to boss bandit, so that's going to be a really good reason to play my little prince right here, and we'll get that quick cycle. And then he's probably going to play the executioner, and when he does, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play my evil barrel into the opposite lane. I'll pop the little prince ability as well, just to make sure that we are safe. And then maybe actually let's go on this side, then let's evil barrel onto this side here. And then why is he not playing that executioner? I don't really know why he's not going for it. Let's go ahead and log right here to reset the ram rider, so that we can get some extra damage onto it and kind of keep the pressure up. We do have the mortar lock, so that's going to be huge. Let's get a skeleton barrel going here while the knight is tanking as well. Then he's going to go for the boss bandit. Let's go ahead, let's get a goblin gang over here, and then let's get the little prince right here actually to help out. And then, ooh, that was a bad log for me to play, but I think we should be okay. That ram rider is going to get some good damage, but I don't think we really have to worry about it, and we are going to get the win. That was actually a really simple and easy win. Let's give him a good game. Let's give him a good luck. There we go. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for all the love you guys have been given, and I cannot wait to see you guys in the next one.